our fellows, when they have become alumni, so after you've taught in schools for 2 years, after you've really understood what is the problem happening on the ground, then we want you to go out. Should you, decide to not continue teaching, even if you go to a corporate sector, you will be able to advocate for education by planning CSR programs which will benefit less privileged children. You could even start off your own social enterprise addressing things like homelessness or poverty, because those are also intertwined and linked to education as well. So the idea is to get everyone who have never thought about education before to come together, put their heads together, experience what's happening on the ground, understand what's happening on the ground, to then come up with solutions that will benefit the community as a whole, so that in the future, students will be able to use education to break that poverty cycle or break whatever cycle that they are in. And this is a very quick background of some of the fellows that we've recruited. So this year we have recruited 50 fellows. They come from very diverse backgrounds: local, international university, engineering, law, business background. The likelihood is that if you can name me a course, we do have a fellow from that background. That's how diverse we are. It's also very racially diverse, and the idea is because, even though you come from different walks of life, ultimately you still share the same passion in wanting to contribute to the nation through education. So a very, very quick idea of how the fellowship looks like. So 2 years, right? 2 years you'll be teaching, but before the 2 years, like I mentioned just now, you go through a very intensive 2-month pre-service program. And then after that, during your first and second year, you'll be attending different forms of regional events to develop your leadership, because ultimately Teach for Malaysia is a leadership development program, and you also be studying part-time for your postgraduate diploma in education. So in a way, you'll be working full-time and you'll be studying part-time. So at the end of the 2 years, you will actually obtain a diploma in education which will qualify you to be an educator. You will also run different initiatives and projects which is highly related to having the entrepreneurial skills. So a lot of our fellows, when they run the programs in schools during the 2 years, they end up continuing those programs and making it sustainable. And once they've even gone out to work in other companies, they're still running the programs as a side project as well. And last but not least, of course, becoming fellows. So I think one of the biggest questions a lot of people ask us before they apply for Teach for Malaysia is, because we are a non-profit organization, am I then volunteering myself for 2 years? Because I can't afford to do that. I need to earn money after graduating. So I'm going to tell you that no, this is not a volunteer program. In fact, this is a full-time, fully paid program. It's a full-time career, and you will be paid a salary of a fresh graduate, which is comparable to other salary that you get in the industry outside. Because you will be hired by the Ministry of Education. So during the 2 years, you are contract civil servants with the Ministry of Education, MOE. Okay, so it's a full-time, fully paid job. Okay, so I want to bring to your attention one girl who has been teaching for 2 years and is already now an alumni, so she has completed her 2 years. So her name is Alina Amir. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen her in Facebook or social media or the papers, because she is quite popular. She was previously actually working in a consulting firm called Accenture. So she worked for 1 year, and she realized that, I really don't know what I'm doing in this consulting firm. I want to do something meaningful, and I need to make a difference. And so she stumbled upon Teach for Malaysia, and then started doing the fellowship for 2 years. And during the 2 years, she did many, many things. She was a teacher to 200 students, but not just that. She also started her own community project called Block A, whereby she started teaching initially a group of 20 students. But then when word got around that she was giving free tuition, the parents started sending their kids to her, and soon enough the class became so big that her house could not fit all the students, and she had to rent the block in her flat that she was staying to run the project. That's why it's called Block A. And at one point she had up to 150 students at that time, and it was just 2 of them, her and also another fellow teaching 150 students. And then after that, now what she's currently doing is she is the co-founder of Arus Academy, which is a social enterprise focusing on 21st century learning skills, for example, coding, programming, robotics. So they're doing really, really cool stuff. So one of the projects that this bunch of kids that they are teaching are actually doing is how to make sure that, you know, let's say nowadays there's a lot of theft cases, right, robbery, whereby let's say if you're walking on the street and someone just comes and snatches your laptop back. So what the kids have come up with is to come up with like a very mini chip to actually put on your body. So whatever you're wearing, whatever clothes you're wearing, you attach onto it, and you attach that chip to your laptop bag as well. So if indeed someone actually snatches your bag, there will be a really, really huge alarm sound that rings, that alerts the people around, because it's connected via Bluetooth. So this is one of the things that the students came up with, not the teachers. And it's really interesting to see. So I'm going to share with you a very quick video of how Arus Academy works.